Ordinarily, I didn't want to say anything until I heard certain things on this floor, and I felt that we needed to clear that. I'm an Igbo man, and our people say that when the traditional healer is making medicine for the eye, that he shouldn't find pepper nearby. Because any pepper that goes into the eye means that that medicine will not work. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I want to talk specifically on the matter of whether people were being sent away. No Nigerian is being sent away from anywhere. Criminals are being sent away from the forest where they are. And so, when we now come here and say, some people, after doing this thing and they're sending people away, you send the wrong message out. The message is simple. The police, IG, has told us these are criminal elements coming from outside Nigeria. And what we should ask ourselves is, if somebody is a criminal and he is in the forest, what is he doing inside there? And we want to paper over matters of this nature to please whatever. What we want to say is simple. We either want to solve this problem, and in order to solve the problem, the desideratum is that all criminal elements that are coming into this country from wherever they are must be flushed out. Simply sit up. My name is Enyinnaya, and I represent Enugu East Senatorial Zone. I rather believe that when you're talking about national security, you're talking about signs and symptom complex of an ailing nation, of a sick Nigeria. I would therefore prefer to address it in a holistic manner, looking at 6 thematic areas. 1 is poverty, 2 is national transformation, 3 is youth bulge and expanding youth population, 4 is critical infrastructure, 5 is gap crisis, and 6 is a failed expectation framework. If you look at poverty in Nigeria, Nigeria has the highest population of extreme poverty in the world, which is about maybe 86.9 to 92 million people living in absolute poverty. So when you're talking about national security, it's part of that symptom complex. You also look at population dynamics. Nigerian population will be 236 million in 2030 and 410 million in 2050, making it the 3rd most populous nation in this country, in the world. As the population expands, the population of youths expand, and these are unemployed youths. It's also youth restiveness, hopelessness, vulnerability, makes them subject to indoctrination, and that is how you have the problems in the Northeast, even in the South side. And of course, lack of critical infrastructure. We have to address critical infrastructure in terms of transportation, roads, railways, airways, waterways, in terms of electricity. Then, of course, gap crisis, the huge void between the rich and the poor. And of course, failed expectation. The state has not fulfilled its social contract, and that is a reaction to that failed expectation of our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, my name is Ode Stephen Adi. I represent the good people of Cross River North. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria is in a very bad situation. Nobody should take this issue for granted. People can no longer move freely in this country. Even the political elites are culpable. Nobody is exempted. Security has become a terrible issue that you can no longer travel from one part of this country to the other without thinking of how to protect yourself. How about the women and children that we send to our schools? They don't have any opportunity to provide security for themselves. Yet, on daily basis, we hear reports from our national dailies, from the television, how people are being kidnapped, how young ones are being kidnapped, and then people ask them for ransom. Parents don't have money to pay for them to be released. It's a serious matter that this country, at the leadership level, we must continue to carry out orientation and then see how we can fashion out, conduct research, and see how we can bring very useful findings to those at the corridor of power. Governors have a role to play in each of their states. For instance, Cross River State was bedeviled with a lot of security challenges some few months back. But when the governor introduced Operation Akpaku, a lot of criminals have started running away from Cross River State. And I believe that if other governors should adopt this template, I think Nigeria will move a step forward. Thank you, Mr. President. I submit.
Senator Michael